let's get a good stance here. So you want your hips about outer hip distance apart. And then just feel that you are centered. So rock to the balls of your feet, to the heels, and then find where your center is so that your hips feel like they're in alignment over your ankles, your shoulders are over your hips, and then your head is sort of just like perched right on top. And let's take one hand to the chest, one hand to the lower abdomen, and we'll start with some wave breathing. So we start the inhale with wave breathing down below. So on the inhale, puff your belly out. And then as you continue to inhale, the ribs expand and then the chest rises up. And then on the exhale, the chest sinks back down, the ribs pull in, and the belly pulls in. So we start from the bottom and let it rise up, it being the breath. And then we exhale from the top down. And we do this because a lot of us tend to breathe more in our chest. So it's a way of really feeling what it's like when we take a full breath and let the lungs fully expand. And when we do, the diaphragm extends down and presses on the lower organs, right? Everything gets a little bit of a massage. And then on the exhale, the diaphragm gets to relax back up and the lungs pull back in. So full deep breath so that we are fully oxygenating all of our cells. And slowing the breath down also is a signal to the nervous system that we are safe, that we don't need to go into any fight or flight mode, that everything is calm and relaxed. Blood can circulate more optimally into and throughout the abdominal area to nourish the organs. In today's class will be, sometimes I have a theme, I often do. Today's is going to be more about opening the heart and the lungs, circulation, right? All of that. And let's drop the arms down. So for those of you that are new here, after breathing, we tend to work on opening the spine. So these next few movements are working with opening the spine, flexion and extension, and then rotation, which is really good, especially if you have back pain or a history of. So the first one is called knocking on the door of life. And that's where we just turn from the hips and the waist, we rotate, and then the arms start to swing gently and then knock across the lower abdomen and lower back. So the knocking on the door, that door of life is the space at the center of the spine, pretty far down below where the levels of the kidneys are. And it's a major energy point in acupuncture and Chinese medicine. And by knocking on that space, we're helping to increase energy. And continue to breathe nice and relaxed, just sending little tiny bits of shock waves from the base of the spine all the way up. And so I like to say the some of the tiers or the tenets of acupuncture, um, acupressure is that we're knocking across or pressing or using needles to activate these points that help to invigorate blood flow. They invigorate and release stagnant energy. And that's what we're doing with Qigong. And then come up just below the collarbone. So we're still knocking across the lower back. And some principles of Qigong. One is that we move from the center. So think about most of these movements are coming from the hips, the waist, and our arms, our legs, even our head. They sort of just go along for the ride, right? So we're moving from the center, which is the center point of our energy, and then come to the very top of the shoulders. Second is that we move with relaxation. So within the structure of our body, right, we are moving with relative ease. So where can we learn to start relaxing, not holding tension unnecessarily, and then come back down? And the third principle of Qigong is that we move with the breath. So we're constantly connecting movements to the breath. And most of the breath here will be through the nose and out the nose, in and out through the nose, unless you have congestion and that's not possible, and then come back down to the waist. But unless we're doing some movements that are more purging, we're trying to clear, we might exhale through the mouth. But breathing in and out through the nose is actually where we want to be for the majority of the time anyway. It's has a lot of positive physiological effects. And then start to slow down. And now we go into spinal cord breathing. And that's where we flex and extend the spine. So we just rotated, we oiled the joints of the spine by rotating. So inhale, bring your hands up by your face, look up towards the sky. And then exhale, curl your tailbone down, down towards the earth. And as we do, curling the upper spine forward on the exhale. So we inhale, unfurl, and look up, and then exhale. So we're creating a nice stretch from the sacrum all the way up the spine to the crown or the base of the neck, base of the head. So inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And a lot of these movements also, we're moving slowly, but slowly like you're moving through water. So just think of how differently we move when we are out in the air versus in water, right? We tend to have movements that are much slower, right? And we move more fluidly. So that's sort of the idea of how we're trying to incorporate that into our movements in Qigong, moving like we're moving through water. Inhale and exhale. Slow movements are nourishing, they're tonifying, they can still be strengthening, as you'll see, but where a lot of our movement-based exercises are very yang, they're very outward and quick, which is good, but just like anything, checks and balances, we need to counter that with things that are kind of slower, more stabilizing, where we get to be a little more receptive and go inward and really connecting to our awareness and our consciousness to how we're moving and moving with intention. And let's do one more inhale. And then exhale, let your arms drop down. Okay, so before we go into a wider stance, let's do a little stretch for the head, neck, and shoulders. This is called dragon stretches its tail. So we start, and when I tell you which side, right or left, it's your right or left. So I'm going to mirror you. So I know that this is my right and your left. So hands up so that your palms are facing you. On a nice inhale, then start to turn the hands that are facing away from you and exhale, pushing over to the left and turn your head and look right. So you should feel a nice stretch through the forearms. Spread your fingers and you'll feel the stretch all the way into and through the palms, into the fingers. And then on the inhale, turn around and face your hand as you inhale in. And then exhale, push away as you turn in the opposite direction. So inhale. So we're just getting a nice stretch through the shoulder, the forearms, the palms, the fingers, and inhale. And exhale. And after your next exhalation, just pause here. Pause so that your head is still turned. We're just going to stay in this position for 2 or 3 rounds of breath. Maybe turn your head a little bit more over that shoulder to increase the stretch in the neck. And then exhale, let your arms drop all the way down and shake them out. And now over to your right. I'm going to have your palms facing you. Inhale. And then exhale, push away and turn and look left. And then inhale, look towards your hands, and then exhale, push away. Inhaling and slowly pushing away on the exhale. Spreading those fingers. So this is great also if you work a lot on a device or typing away on your keyboard to help increase circulation throughout the wrist. People that have carpal tunnel, this is a great stretch. One more inhale. And then again, let's just pause here in our stretch. A few rounds of breathing. And then exhale, the arms drop down and shake them out. Okay, so let's go into a wider stance. So this is called igniting the inner fire. The heart and pericardium channels run through our palms. So we do a lot of palm work when we're working with the energy of the heart, pericardium, the channels. So let's start first just by placing your palms together, and then we're just going to rub them back and forth to start generating a little heat. And as you see, my one elbow will come up and then back down. So there's a movement in the elbows that correlates, right, so we're not just rubbing in front of us. We're actually getting some movement throughout the entire arm and into the shoulder. And now we'll incorporate weight shift from right foot to left foot. So as your right elbow comes up, right, you're going to shift the weight over to the right and then turn and look left. And then come to the center, the palms face up. Think a little bit as we're in the center. And now as we come over to the left elbow comes up and you turn and look right. And then back to the center. So there's an oscillation back and forth as the weight shifts, right? We're still turning the palms. And as the elbow comes up, that's the side that we are shifting the weight to. So we're building a little strength. And again, don't forget to turn in the opposite direction because we want to incorporate a little stretch throughout the neck. But this is building some strength and heat in the legs. We're generating heat in the palms. We're getting a nice stretch through the neck. And it's also helping to pump, we're increasing our circulation. The heart's pumping, right? There's a little cardiovascular benefit here. You should also feel some nice heat between your hands. And then let's come to the center. Let's reconnect with the breath. So this is called heart to the sky. Just going to inhale, separate the hands out to the sides as you look up. And then exhale, the chest sinks back in as you exhale back in. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So feeling nice stretch throughout the pecs, opening the heart, and then exhale, sinking in. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. Okay. So from here, we are going into something called pulling the bow. It's still working with opening the chest, the heart, the pericardium, the lungs. So we'll start with, let's go. Okay, so let's start with your left hand on top of the other. So you're crossing your forearms and your knees are slightly bent. Okay, now you're going to extend your left arm over to the left, extending your index finger and your thumb over to the side. And as you do that, your right hand is going to pull, almost like you're pulling an actual bow. So you're going to curl your fingers in and pull right to where the lungs are and turn and look over to the left. So this is pulling the bow. And then you're going to inhale that top arm on top. And then same thing now over to the right. So you're extending the index finger and the thumb over to your right. And then your left hand pulls across the chest, right to the front of the left shoulder. And then we inhale again, crossing the forearms, and then extending over now to the left. So you see how the chest is comes a little open here. And then we inhale. So you're making a little circle with those arms, and then we extend. Think about looking forward through a target, and then you're pulling the bow, opening the heart and chest. Just thinking about, what are some things that you're looking forward to, whether it's a goal, whether it's an event, whether it's something that you're sort of striving for, and that we're just using this as a method of, right, creating some clarity in what that target is and opening the heart center so that you're infusing that with love, right? Attention, inspiration, the act of inspiring, right? In taking in oxygen by the lungs expanding. It's no coincidence that inspiration is part of the emotion of the lung and metal element. Pulling in spirit, I believe, is the Latin, what the root is in Latin. So we're taking in literal breath, we're getting inspired with what we want and opening our chest and being expansive in how we want to infuse the energy to achieve those goals. So it's inhale and then exhale, and then inhale and exhale. And let's do one more to each side. And then drop your arms down. Woo, that's a good one. My heart's beating. Let's come to a narrower stance again. Shake the legs out. Let me just make sure I know. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to go into our flows. But before we do, let's do a little shaking. So pumping the knees, shaking the wrists, the elbows, just letting everything that sort of still kind of gummed up in there, shake it away. It's releasing tension, releasing maybe some stuck emotions that are maybe weighing on us, making us feel a little heavy. And let's start to slow down. Okay, so we've opened our breath, we've activated, we've done a little stretching. So now we are primed and prepared to go into our flows. So the first flow we are doing today is called grasping the bird's tail. So we start by inhaling the arms open, so opening the heart and the chest. And then as we exhale, you're going to bring your right hand perpendicular to the ground, and the left hand is pointing towards the inner elbow of your right, excuse me. So right up, left down. And then inhale, now we'll switch, and the opposite arm is up. So your left arm is perpendicular, and then your right fingers are pointing towards right into that inner elbow. And then we inhale and then exhale. Just getting into this movement. Nice slow inhale as we open, and then exhale. So there is an expansiveness and a slight contraction. So grasping the bird's tail, right? We expand the heart, we expand our emotional center, but then we also have, this is a protective posture, right? So we want to bring in whatever it is that you want to bring in, positivity, joy, and maybe a little protectiveness, right? To uh not bring in what you don't want to bring in, right? Whether it's certain energies or negativity, sort of thinking about protecting your energy center. Inhale. And keep those arms nice and relaxed. And when we pull the arms in, don't pull them in too close. Like we still want expansive energy. So we inhale and open up. And then we exhale, right? Your arms are coming in, but not too close to you. Inhale. So within the protective stance, there's still a relaxation. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So as we inhale, we're opening the heart center, like I said. And as we exhale, the fingers are actually pointing to heart 3, which is a major acupuncture point on the heart channel. So we're opening the heart, but also we're protecting it. So we are going to add on to this. This is the first part of grasping the bird's tail. So meet me wherever you are, meet me because I would like to cue you correctly. When your right hand is perpendicular and your left arm is pointing towards the elbow. Okay, so from here, the arm that's down, we're going to turn to that side. So we're turning to your left. And as we do, take that left arm behind you, circle it around. So down, around, and up. And then take that palm and push it towards the palm of your right arm. And then push forward. And then just inhale, opening your hands, pull in towards you. And then exhale, push forward. And then inhale the arms out to the sides. Now we go to the opposite side. So left arm perpendicular. Drop that left right arm down around. Make a big circle. Push forward. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, push forward. And then inhale, open and expand again. And then we'll go in. So at first, it's the protective posture. Then we turn, drop that back arm down and around, coming back up. And then palms come almost together. And then push forward on the exhale. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, push forward. And then inhale again. Inhale. Exhale. We'll say protective posture. And then drop that right arm down around as you inhale. And then exhale, push forward. Inhale, draw in. Nice and relaxed. Exhale, push forward. And then again, expand and inhale. So once you get the mechanics down, right? So protective posture, drop that arm, make a big circle like you're collecting energy, and then pushing it forward, right? Pushing out, drawing in. Again, pushing forward what you want to put out there into the world, and then opening the heart again. So getting the mechanics down and then relax into this. So allow those arms, right, as we're coming around, that there's a softness and there's a gentleness as we move forward, a softness in the wrist as we pull in, softness as we push out, drawing in, opening the heart. Exhale, just a little protection, self-protection. And then inhale, gathering in, collecting, integrating, and pushing out into the world what you want to draw in from a stance of feeling strong. And then exhale what you want to put back out there. So this constant ebb and flow and exchange of energy that is universal, right? It is part of nature, right? Things start to grow, maybe seeds start to grow and germinate and expand. Trees become the source of oxygen for us that we take in. And then we breathe out what carbon dioxide, which the trees take in and make new energy for them. It's amazing. But with people too, like there's constant exchanging of energies, even the food that we eat, right? It's an energy exchange. So with that in mind, just thinking about how we can work with that, cultivate, right? What we want to pull in and integrate, and then what we want to put out for others to benefit from, right? Inhale, We take what you need and then, right, extend out what we're able to extend out to others, drawing in those experiences that we want to draw in, and then expanding. Constant ebb and flow, expanding, contracting. Nourishing our heart center, right? So that we are infused, and we're infusing others with this joy simply because there's joy to be had for no other reason, no material reason. It's just always there and can be accessed because we decide to. Let's do one more. Push forward. Let's do one more inhale in, one more push out. And then just let your arms come down around and then hold our chi ball. So imagining you're holding a ball in front of you. For those that don't know about the chi ball is very important. So if you close your eyes and imagine that you're holding a little ball in front of you, and then play with pulsing your hands back and forth. You might sense a little push and pull, a little magnetic force at play here. So this is your energy. And then let's drop the arms down. So from here, we are going into Great Bear swims in the ocean. I think we'll do that first. So this is still about opening up the heart, opening up the lungs. But think about a great bear swimming in the ocean. I mean, I don't know, that brings me joy. So we're going to harness that. So we start with the palms facing up. Again, heart and pericardium run through these spaces. So we're going to exhale. And as we exhale, push those hands forward so your palms are up and your tailbone glides back. So I'll start from the beginning so you can see. Again, we're moving from the center. So glide the hips back. And as we do, the arms will naturally extend out. And then rotate so that your palms face out as we inhale, standing a little straighter, coming back into the center. So we exhale, a tailbone glides back, you extend forward on the exhale, and then rotate the hands outward as we inhale and pull back in. So exhale, and then inhale. Also feeling your body, right? How this feels moving through space, moving through this field. It's all around us. Moving from the center, moving on the breath, moving slowly, and then with relaxation. Exhale forward, rotate, and then inhale, pulling all the way back in. Dropping the shoulders down. If you notice they're starting to creep up towards the ears, relax them down. Just think about swimming through the ocean, especially a great bear. I don't think there's anything that's more like earthy, right? A big great bear that's just rolling around and swimming in the ocean. Exhale forward. Massive creature. swimming, rolling around, part of nature, part of the earth. Maybe even imagining that you are that great bear. I think I've seen some videos somewhere floating around in the ether that bears play. They actually play for no other reason that they can determine other than probably fills them with some form of good hormones and neurotransmitters that they're not even aware of that help them feel good. So if a big great bear alone in the wild, right, can tap into and be part of this universal joy, maybe we can harness that. Inhale and exhale, opening the palms as a receiving posture, and then inhaling what it is that you want to bring in. What do you want to infuse your life with? What brings you joy? Keep going. Just checking the time here. Okay. And then after your next inhale, let's pause in our QiGong and then feel what's going on, how your body feels, how your mind feels, maybe how your heart feels. So from here, we are going into a similar flow, but in the opposite direction. This is called coming home to the heart. So drop the arms down. So we're going to extend the tailbone back, but this time we're going to bring the arms around in a circle so that the back of your hands are leading. So you're going to bring the back of the hands together in front of you. Then rotate the hands in as we inhale and pull them back in towards you. So we exhale, back of the hands come around and together. And then inhale, they rotate up back into your center. So exhale, I'll show you again from the side. Tailbone glides back, the arms come around, back of the hands together. And then inhale, they pull in. And exhale. And inhale. Coming home to the heart. So all of that joy, right, that we just cultivated with our big great bear, right? Now we're just pulling that in and nourishing the heart center, the lungs, coming back home, right, to that center of joy that's within you. Exhale forward, rotate the hands or spiral the hands. Exhale and inhale. Still moving like we're moving through water. So think of the space around you, right? That I think for the most part, really don't pay attention to the space that we're moving through, but this is an opportunity to dial into that, to start paying attention to the more subtle um, signs, right? That there's a lot happening in this space, in our connection to this environment around us. So just feeling even the air on your skin as you move, maybe through your fingertips, just bringing that joy, gathering it, and infusing your heart with it. And then let's do one more. Exhale forward, inhale, pull in. Let's go into our chi ball one more time. You might even feel it feels differently or the stronger we work with our palms, sometimes the stronger the sensation is. And then let your arms drop down. Now pulling down the skies, we're going to inhale the arms down, around, and up. And then exhale, just let your hands float back down on the exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just soothing any crinkles that are still there in your field, right? Just some agitation that you want to let go of. Let it all fall to the earth. One last inhale. And then on the exhale, bring your feet together and then bring one hand on top of the other below your belly button. Make a couple of circles. This is the lower dantian, which is pretty powerful, probably the most important energetic reservoir here, where we can store all that good stuff that you just cultivated. And a few last nice, juicy rounds of breathing. Feeling centered and grounded and joyful and vibrant and inspired, maybe. And then when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open